Alright, we have the anticipated news here of LF Ultra Instinct Sign Goku getting his Zenkai Awakening. Yip-de-doo. We were all expecting him or Evolution Blue Vegeta to get his Zenkai earlier this year with the first Universal Reps celebration we had with the, LF 17, LF Revival UI Goku, and Ultra Hit, but obviously he didn't get the Zenkai because he's getting one now. So let's just see what he's going to be doing here on this preview tweet, and then we'll just go and see what he can be doing really quick, right? So we want to kind of make this a fast video, so let's just go. Alright, LL Ultra Instinct Sign Goku Zenkai Awakening is coming. Awaken to gain special cover change nullification on special arts hit 5 counts. Unlock all uniques to inflict enemies with damage received up, etc. when entering the battlefield. Alright, that gives us a good preview as to what they want this character to really be doing, right? First of all, I just want to say this is a really nice Zenkai art. I know it's not too much, but I like the color scheme. Yeah, there's that. But we'll be taking a look over here on dblegends.net, excuse me, and we'll just see what else he can be doing. So this character, he's quite old. He's 2.5 years old at this point now. So his kit is pretty dated, right? His main ability is actually pretty decent for what it was, right? You get the ult, right? You gain 30% HP. This is a big amount of HP. You gain 40 ki, which is pretty decent, and you cancel enemies' upgrade attributes, which is really good, right? Alright, and then his unique abilities, he's doing 25% extra damage to fusion warriors, and he's getting the standard, damage inflicted up, and he's getting reduced damage received buffs up there. He also has key recovery buffs, which are nice, and he has -5 to strike and blast arts costs, right? And then another part of his passive that allows him to get damage as well as combo a little bit more is, depending on the amount of timer counts he's in the battlefield, he'll gain these buffs, right? 3 counts, he'll gain 30 ki and 20% damage inflicted, and then 8 counts, he'll gain another 30 ki and 30% more damage inflicted. And these effects will reset after this character switch. So typically what this character was able to do is you would come in, you'd either buy a lot of time, and then you'd get all of this up, so you'd have 110% damage inflicted, which back in the day was actually pretty impressive, right? I mean, characters like Vegito Blue would only be getting, he had 50% baseline when he came in, but depending on what battle style he was fighting, he would get a 40% to strike damage if he was fighting melee-based enemies, and 50% to blast damage if he was fighting blast-based enemies. And I'm pretty sure most of the meta was roughly strike-based because you were just running fusions anyways. So again, just more strike. There's 90% strike damage, right? But this Goku, as you can see, he's doing a baseline of just 110% to all characters, right? So he was one-shotting units left and right. On top of that, his ult is also supremely modified right here, right? It has a supreme impact damage modifier, and it's doing 50% more ult damage. So he's doing a lot here, right? And let's just also quickly go over his green card, right? His green card is an AoE green. He has more health restoration here. He gets ki by 40. He gets 20% more damage inflicted for 15 counts. And he gets draw speed for 1 level for 15 counts, right? And his blue card is a massive... Ooh, excuse me. My scroll was broken. Okay, his blue card deals massive impact damage, and you gain 50% of your unique gauge back on it. That was the only way to get your unique gauge back, other than just switching out this character, right? So he's got a pretty decent skeleton of a kit here. And I actually didn't go over this unique because it's just his dodge gauge, right? Which is it's a pretty good unique, right? It's where most of his defensive mechanics will come through. But this character overall, he has a pretty solid skeleton of a character, right? I mean, last year I was able to kind of get away with running him, just kind of like a double UI setup with, I think, Super Vegito in the leader slot, I think it was. I mean, yeah, I was able to actually get away with running this character. He was doing some pretty decent damage, so obviously it's been a year and we've had the Beast Gohan reset, so he's very, very much obsolete, but I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do with him, right? So we'll just go back to the tweet. Again, we already know that his green card is going to get a buff, right? Just right here, right? So let's just go back to the green card. His green card right here, it's already doing all of this, right? Already went over it. But he's also getting 5 counts of cover null on hit. I don't think they'll change this much. The only thing I think they change is maybe this will go up to 20 counts. This might be 50 ki, and this might be 20 counts, because you're not going to see this too often, right? and you're also going to get the 5 counts of cover null on hit, right? So you can't just pop this in the middle of nowhere and then you'll just have 5 counts of cover null. I mean, it doesn't really matter because if you miss this green card, you're going to get punished. Like, it is a very long animation, right? If you miss it, so there is that to be wary about, right? They also mention here that when you enter the battlefield, you will inflict enemies up with damage received up, right? That's a debuff when he enters the battlefield to make sure that the enemies take more damage. So that's gonna be kind of like a pseudo support type effect where you're not really giving your allies damage, but you're making the enemies take a lot more damage anyways. Let me see what this is worded as. Inflict enemies, right? So this could mean all enemies, right? Not just the one enemy that's in the battlefield right now, but it can be all enemies on the enemy team, which is going to be huge, right? Typically, you'd want to see about 20%, 25%, because that's where like an extra like effect is really going to be placed on like how much damage they're going to be taking, and that damage effect is going to be pretty substantial because debuffs are really, really powerful, right? In terms of this blue, I don't see this changing. The only thing this doesn't have is blast armor, and I think they will be giving him blast armor on this. Yeah, just you need blast armor at this point on a melee based move cards, melee based blue cards, excuse me, to actually get a lot of value out of them, right? So I don't think this will really change. There's no reason for this to change, so yeah. In terms of his passives, I mean, they've never touched any of this. The only thing they'd probably change is just maybe change this to be all cards, maybe, who knows. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with this, right? I don't think this will change. The amount of ki he might get will probably increase. Let me just pull up a new character real quick here, because this character is actually pretty reminiscent of him. It's actually this blue metal cooler right here, if I'm correct. Yeah, right here. See, so he's kind of had this similar effect where via how many timer counts he's in, he gets ki back, right? So 2 counts he gets 20 ki back, 5 counts he gets 30 ki back, and 8 counts he gets 40 ki back here. So UI Goku's a little different. He has 2 instances of 3 and 8, and he's getting both 30 and 30 here. So what I'm thinking they might just do here is just make this 50 ki, and they might just keep this the same, right? Again, just certain small buffs, but they end up actually doing a lot, right? Because of the amount of stat buffs he's getting. Alongside this, they'll probably just give him another like just generic buff effect, right? Just to give him more damage, more reduced damage received. Let me just see if I know a character off the top of my head who can really show me this. Let me just see if I can find. I gotta scroll pretty far down, don't I? This character. Where is he? He's a very specific one. He's the first one that came to my head, and I just stopped thinking. Yeah, Super Junior right here. I know there are a couple of other characters that have this. I'm gonna also pull up LF Super Vegeta after this, but after he Zenkais, yes, he's probably gonna get one of these Zenkai buffs right here, right? Passives, where he'll just get a baseline of just more reduced damage received and 30% damage inflicted. Let me just see if Vegito has this. Blue Vegeta. I know Super Vegeta I think has this. Let me just check. I do not remember this kid. One by one. Yeah. See, Super Vegeta has this effect, right, where he gets -3 to all arts cost. Jesus Christ, I'm stuttering. Oof. But again, they're just gonna probably give him 30% damage inflicted and -15% to damage received, right? You actually don't have damage reduction in your kit. That's why you're not too good anymore. To be fair, he's pretty old. And the other character I wanted to highlight is Vegito Blue. Let me just see if you have this, right? See, again, because when they Zenkai him, they did not change any of this when this probably should have just been permanently, right? Again, he's a pretty beast Gohan character, so it doesn't really matter anymore, but it does matter, like, in the long run, right? Yeah, see, like, we have, okay, to be fair, your unique ability is kind of stupid, because this is stupid. You shouldn't be activating this often. And this is okay, but, I mean, whatever, right? Yeah, they fucked up this guy's Zenkai. This guy should have got more respect, I think. But yeah, I think that's probably what we're gonna see. We're probably just gonna see one of those effects, and then he'll probably have the other, unique ability that'll just give him enemy debuffs, right? That'll probably be what his Zenkai is, I'm assuming. And then lastly, I just kind of want to quickly go over is the main here. I said this was pretty good, but obviously if you're gonna give it a buff, I mean, yeah, right? This nowadays is not good enough, just because typically you'd also want to add cancels an enemy's buff effects, and I don't know if they want to slap on some card draw speed on this as well. They could even give him card draw speed in his just like base kit, right? I mean, to be fair, he does have 15 counts of card draw speed right here, so they might be pretty hesitant to give it to him. But they could just give him like 5 counts of card draw speed when he first enters the battlefield, or like per battle member. I mean, whenever he faces an enemy. Let me just pull up this character here because she has the same effect. Jesus Christ, this is not what I love. Yeah, you right here. So the way her draw speed works is it written? Where is it written? It is written. God, I can't read. You get card draw speed somewhere. Yeah, right here, right here. Whenever she's faced with an enemy, she gains card draw speed for 5 counts. I think they'd probably do something like this, right? I've noticed that this is a little bit hard to use, but it does allow you to extend combos for a little bit longer. So I'm pretty sure this is at minimum that what they'd be willing to give him, right? They could definitely give UI Goku something like this as well. They could give him a lot more like just enemy disruption as just like a cover change unit, right? Because he does have the Omni cover change against strikes and blasts. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what this character is going to be able to do. I'm not expecting too many changes for him too, just because he's got a pretty solid kit. But again, with characters like Blue Vegito and Majin Vegeta, they didn't really get many changes. They just kind of got like stat upgrades, which I mean for Blue Vegito was fine because he was actually pretty usable. Not so much for Majin Vegeta. I think Majin Vegeta just needed like hard draw speed and he would have been fine, and they didn't give him that, so yippee-doo. Yeah, I'm excited to see what this character is able to do, right? Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.